What's up guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my biggest what-ifs in Blue Lock. Keep in mind, this list is 100% based on my thoughts, opinions, and biases. With that being said, let's get into the video. For the first one on the list, we have what if KIRO was not eliminated from Blue Lock? Hear me out on this one. Honestly, I think KIRO being eliminated was the best direction the manga or anime could have gone in. I think his elimination really brought out the theme of being an egotistical and selfish striker. However, if KIRO was not eliminated and let's say the Buddha boy, Igarashi, the absolute GOAT of Blue Lock right now, was eliminated, what would have happened? Well, based on the literal 2 seconds of screen time that KIRO had to show his football skills off, he was able to trap the ball and score a goal. Nothing about his play seemed extraordinary, as we've seen way more mind-blowing goals in Blue Lock. Yet still, Japan viewed him as some golden boy. But back to the point, the most I could say about KIRO is that he was probably an all-rounder striker who was not extremely talented in any specific category like nagi and his ball control, but he was pretty good at everything, almost like a knockoff of the current Rio we have. Honestly speaking, I think he would have probably evolved similar to Rio as a player who can play in any position on the field. I'm not too sure how his defense would have turned out, but for sure as an all-rounder quote-unquote striker, I think he would probably be best in midfield. I do see him becoming a pretty decent forward if needed be also. He would probably form a new type of dynamic with the original 4 of Team Z. Also, I think him joining Team Z would have made them pass in the first selection a lot easier. KIRO's staying could have also added a new type of dynamic to Blue Lock. From the beginning of the story, KIRO was seen as someone that believed every single role in football is equally important. He even stated that the only reason for entering Blue Lock was to prove ego and his ideologies wrong. I honestly see KIRO rising to be something like the anomaly of Blue Lock, a type of player whose ego is playing for his team instead of being selfish and playing for the sake of scoring his own goals. A type of person who scores 0 goals but contribute to 5 in a winning game rather than scoring 2 or more goals and still losing. Almost like some figurative hero of the Blue Lock's project's egoistic belief. Alright, next up we have what if Blue Lock was worldwide? By that I mean strikers from Europe, the Americas, Asia, and many more countries all joining Blue Lock. In my opinion, a worldwide Blue Lock would be a lot more interesting because there would be so much more players and playstyles. We would potentially be able to see many different cultures, and of course the competition will be even greater. I honestly think that many of the players that dominated the rankings throughout the story will not even be in the top 20. If you reference reality in this scenario, there are likely many more amazing young players outside of Japan that will outshine the majority of the 300 original players because of their more exposure to the high levels of football. I think 300 strikers is too few to choose from. I can see it being a facility with at least 10,000 strikers. It'd be cool if the first selection started out with every continent in a separate building, then the strikers who pass the first selection move on to the second selection where all the continents meet up and mix with each other. How would current Blue Lock players fit in this environment though? I see this scenario being quite challenging for Isagi at the beginning, but with this kind of playstyle that allows him to adapt and become better after every match, I can definitely see him coming out on top. Unless some Brazilian baller they picked up from the street stopped him, you know what I'm saying? But like, going back to the point, I think he would probably improve at a greater pace because of the better players in his environment. Aside from Isagi, the ones that I believe that can probably hold their own against the other world's young geniuses would probably be characters that we've seen for a while like Barou, Bachida, Nagi, Ryo Shigiri, and some more. As for the obvious 2 most dominant goal scorers in the show, Shido and Rin, I think their playstyles would allow them to still be close to the top area throughout the show. On to the next one. What if the best players from the first selection were all on the same team? Before I start, this team would be built around the top players in the first selection who are currently playing in the Neo Egoist League. This team would consist of Isagi, Bachida, Shigiri, Kunigami, Miko, Gagamaru, Nagi, Hiro, Raichi, Santetsu, and Baro. On paper, this team would literally be unstoppable. I'm talking about at least 10 goals a game. However, if you track back to how chaotic the first match of the first selection was, I can see their team being a big problem. I'm saying this because of the concentration of talent that this team would have. Here's how I think it would go. As shown in the first match of the first selection with Team Z versus Team X, it was chaotic at the beginning, but when Barou scored his goal, the team made the plays around Barou so that he could score more goals. However, with the team we are talking about now, even if Barou were to score the first goal, I just don't think they would center themselves around him, or any other player in fact. Because most of the players on that team at the time were capable of producing their own goals, like Kunigami let's say. With that being said, as the selection does go on, I think that this team would somehow work together, but not in the way that you think. I believe that 100% there will be new dynamics and chemical reactions between different players like Nico and Isagi, who both share their insane spatial awareness. I think the players will coexist instead of working together by devouring each other, as shown in Barou and Isagi's matches. By this I mean they will use each other to score their own goals. The downside of this is that a lot of development for characters like Nico, Shigiri, Nagi and others would be lost as they began to change in the face of loss. Also, even though in my imagination this would have been sick, I think having all the relevant players spread over the different teams was so much more hype. This is kind of off track, but I just wanted to make a formation of what I think this team would be if they work together. So if anyone is wondering what the team's formation would have been, it would have been a 3-4-3 formation. Just to keep in mind, I gave each player different roles based on their current strengths in the Neo Egoist League. So in defense, Gagamaru would be in goal, and Nico, Raichi and Ryo in the center back. Right mid and left mid would go to Shigiri and Zantetsu respectively, and center mid would go to Bachida and Isagi. I know a lot of people are not going to be happy about this, but I think Isagi's meta vision right now works best in midfield. In the forward position, I put Kunigami and Barou in left wing and right wing, while Nagi is on strike. Alright guys, the next one we have on the list is what if Isagi went through wildcard? This is something I've been thinking about ever since the wildcard or Joker was introduced. I honestly think that the wildcard would work amazingly in Isagi's favor. If we compare Kunigami before wildcard to Kunigami after wildcard, there was a lot of noticeable change. Aside from him being the new edgelord of the show, it was also noticeable how strong of a striker he had grown into. If we go into more detail about his improvements, we could see that his already good physical attributes pre-wildcard had become even greater than what it was currently. Also, wildcard allowed him to sculpt his weapon into something more powerful. Kunigami is now able to use both his legs to kick, and I'm pretty sure his shooting range increased. As for Isagi, I believe that a wildcard is what he could have needed. Throughout Blue Lock, many times Isagi is shown to have the brains but not the physicality to keep up with his thinking. Just imagine this, Isagi with an already OP weapon like Meta Vision, an amplified direct shot and great physical attributes. He would easily, in my opinion, dominate the Blue Lock rankings, even more than he is doing now. Alright, last on the list is what if Blue Lock lost the U20 match? Although many people may disagree, I believe no matter the result of that U20 match, Blue Lock would not shut down. From the time Shido set foot on that pitch and scored 2 goals, Blue Lock sealed their fate. The only way I see Blue Lock being shut down was if the U20 won that game without using Shido, which was basically impossible. Even with the U20 somehow winning without Shido, many people would encourage Blue Lock's continuation because of their goals with a massive disadvantage of only strikers on their team. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what other things you would like me to talk about in Blue Lock, or what other anime or TV shows you would like me to try. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more videos. See you guys.